What's going on, everyone? Gilman back with another video. Hope you guys are all having an amazing weekend. And for today's topic, we have the coronavirus stimulus package with renewed talks by our government. So let's get right into it. But before that, if you want to go down, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and comment down below if you want us to do anything in terms of any topics that you want to see. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So with the coronavirus stimulus package, there were talks this week about a renewed negotiation between House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. They wanted to restart formal talks on a stimulus bill and to get that second direct payment out to the people, that $1,200 stimulus check that a lot of Americans received with the first bill is going to be included. So what exactly is this bill going to include, and how do I think that each sort of component of that will impact our economy, the general well-being of our economy, and how that kind of correlates with the stock market? So taking a look at this article here, there's several things that are going to be included, which include a second stimulus check of $1,200. Yay, hopefully that gets passed. Unemployment benefits for people, and those are the sort of on top of what they already would make with unemployment, getting them the extra, I think it's $300 to help out with unemployment because job availability is a bit scarce. Rental assistance, small business loans, airline aid, funds for USPS, and election security. The $2.4 trillion bill could get a vote in the House by October 2nd, which is great news. Now, this $2.4 trillion bill is down from the original $3.4 trillion bill that the Democrats had passed. So, it's definitely, I think, a step in the right direction. I don't know if it's enough to get it passed, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. So let's take a look at sort of each component of this, if you will. So the first one being a $1,200 check per American in the second stimulus check. So $1,200 going to every individual making under a certain amount. Last time that amount was, I believe, it was 75 to 99,000. So if you made less than 75,000, you got the whole thing. And then as between 75 and 99,000, you lost a percentage of this. And then if you're a single person making 99,000 or more, you got nothing. That doubles for married couples, so 150 to 200,000. Same logic applies there. And then you get $500 for dependents. So if you file your tax return, you claim someone as a dependent, you're more likely going to get a $500 check for that individual that you claim as a dependent as well. Now, so what does this do to our economy, right? So there's two studies that I sort of looked at. The first one being by Northwestern University, and the second being an article published by CNBC, but it quotes a software and data aggregation firm. So we'll take a look at that. But the first one says, there's kind of a difference in the income group of the people and how they spend their stimulus. So for example, the lowest income group, who earn less than $1,000 per month, meaning $12,000 annually, spent 40% of their checks in the first 10 days. And this was twice as much as the highest income group, which spent 20% of their checks. So that just goes to show you that, those that are making in the lower income bracket are more, they need this money more to help with rent, to help with putting food on the table, to help with basic bills that are coming due. If we scroll down just a little bit, we see here, people are spending more money on food, right? Restaurant takeout, delivery in particular, with spending in these subcategories surging by about 300%. So that's great news for, local businesses, for restaurants, for your local grocery store, which is already kind of booming during the coronavirus economy. But a lot of this money is spent on things that Americans truly need. And so what that does is it kind of helps the circulation of money, right? So you pay a restaurant in, a local restaurant, your local restaurant is then able to pay, kind of the person who they hire. That person is now able to pay their rent, bills, and everything coming due. And then, it's kind of a circle, right? So, that money keeps exchanging hands. The other study here, they're talking about, trading stocks was one of the most common uses for the government stimulus check that we just passed. Now, as we all know, there's been a recent surge in the number of traders, and Robinhood, an app that is really easy to use and buy and sell and trade, is an app that has particularly benefited from this rise in new people and retail traders, as they're called, entering the market, right? So what does that mean? That means that a lot of new investors are entering the market. The interest for stock market has skyrocketed in 2020 as people are home, as people maybe don't have to go to work or sit in meetings as much. They're able to stay home and kind of take part in the stock market. So this study published by CNBC, this article published by CNBC, quoting a study done by this software and data aggregation company, kind of talks about how people earning between $35,000 and $75,000 annually traded stocks about 90% more than the week before receiving their stimulus checks, right? There is a huge correlation that this study shows, and feel free to go to the study, the link is right here. Look at the securities trade, between 35 and 50, plus 93%, plus 90%, plus 82%, and 150,000 plus 46%, right? So just to kind of, how does that help the stock market, right? So the way the stock market works is there is buying and selling going on, right? So you can buy a stock, you can sell a stock. When there's a lot of buying pressure, meaning people are wanting to buy stocks like Apple, Google, Amazon, it drives the prices of these stocks up, which we've seen during the coronavirus pandemic. But when, people realize, wow, I bought Apple all the way at 400, now it's trading at 500, this is pre-stock split price, right? You're making 20% on a company like Apple in the matter of a month or less, right? You go, wow, I want to take that money, right? And so when you start taking the money, maybe people around you are thinking the exact same thing. And so that causes a lot of selling pressure in the market, which causes the price of the stock to go down, which is sort of what we've seen in tech in the past couple of weeks. Since I believe early September, we've seen a lot of selling off happening while we saw a run up in August. So what that means, basically, just to make it simple, is if we get, stimulus package and people trade or people use it like they did in the past, it could mean a lot of new money entering the stock market, which could once again push the stock market up. Now, taking a look at some of the other work, that was just a $1,200 check, funding for airlines, right? So as you all know, airlines are struggling right now, right? They can't go back to normal. They can't take advantage of a lot of the coronavirus pandemic because it really impacts them. Well, now, if we get funding for airlines from the CARES Act, what that does is, it avoids furloughs and avoids layoffs for a lot of the airline companies. And to put it in simple terms, that just means more money for those employees that don't get fired, right? So many ways this helps the economy. First one is less jobless claims, right? If you don't fire people, they don't file the jobless claim. Our economy overall looks better. Unemployment rate is a bit lower than it would be if all these people didn't have a job anymore. The second thing is if we continue paying these people their normal wages, or a high percent of their wages, that means that they have money to pay rent, money to buy food, money to buy clothes, money to buy whatever they need, right? Again, talking about the circle of people spending, then, that person being able to hire another person, that person that they hire being able to pay their rent, it's kind of a circle. So hoping for that to happen. And then, enhanced unemployment pay, so paying people $300 on top of what they're already making. And that basically ensures that, people have enough money to pay rent, pay their bills, pay for food, all that good stuff. Because the last thing we want is to be able to beat the coronavirus pandemic from a health perspective, but having months and months and months of, credit card bills popping up, mortgage payments popping up, which I think we will have, but hopefully with some unemployment and stimulus packages and stuff like that, it won't be to the same extent as it could be without it. So that's all I had for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, subscribe. The other video that I'll be doing soon is on vaccine news, because I think both the stimulus package and the vaccine news can be great catalysts for the stock market to be to have that pop in the near future. So be on the lookout for that as well. Hope you guys all have a great weekend. If you want to see something else, drop it in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys next time, but remember, let's be a bit better every single day. Have a good weekend.